You're not even testing a person's conscious state.
Passive exposure to cannabis smoke contaminates your hair.
This is a misconception, I believe now, that I need to clear up. In today's video, I want to show you a clip from the Joe Rogan Experience, probably still at least one of the most popular podcasts in the world currently. I want to show the clip, and then after I will react to it and give you my opinions.
You know, it's not like you show up and they could scan your hand and realize that you're high on marijuana right now. That's not what they're doing. What they're doing is they're testing you for something that could linger in your body for weeks after these psychoactive effects have long since gone.
The main point or the theme of that short clip was that THC, marijuana, cannabis testing is not really fair because it's not catching people who are currently under the influence of THC, cannabis, marijuana, which I 100% agree with. It's basically the basis for this entire channel. The urine test, which is the standard for drug testing, the hair test, they basically look at a history or a pattern of THC use.
There was a great scientific article that came out a couple of years ago where they found that just passive exposure to cannabis smoke contaminates your hair with THC, so that all these people who had hair tests who actually had not smoked cannabis, but it sounds like an excuse. I was just in the room, someone else is doing it. Just being in contact with someone who'd smoked cannabis could then deposit THC in your hair and cause you to test positive. So these tests aren't even necessarily reliable.
First, who was this guy that Joe Rogan was interviewing? I have never heard of him. His name's Hamilton Morris. Wikipedia says that he is an American journalist, documentarian, and scientific researcher. I have done a full video on secondhand exposure to THC, marijuana, and the urine test, and it basically shows that unless you're in an extreme environment, very, very small room with no ventilation and heavy smoke, it is virtually impossible for your urinalysis to come back positive because of secondhand smoke if you are not an actual user. But this gentleman, Mr. Hamilton Morris, brings up hair exposure. Now here's what he got wrong. Certainly, if you're in a room with someone, even smoking lightly, that is going to get in your clothes, that's going to get in the couch, that's going to get in your hair, it's going to get everywhere else. The difference with your hair is that when you have a hair test performed, an official drug test that is taking a hair sample, what they're not looking for is the THC. What they're looking for is the metabolites. So while I understand the point that he is trying to make, and it's basically that if you are next to someone that is drinking alcohol and they have a drink in their hand and they drink it, that does not affect you even though you're in close proximity to that person. But with THC, cannabis, marijuana, it's not fair because if a person smokes THC next to another person, that obviously goes into the air. That's what secondhand smoke is. And then even if you are choosing not to participate in the use of THC, you are still exposed to it. The testing companies, the labs, know this and they understand this. So they are actually taking into consideration that you could be exposed to THC, marijuana in a secondhand nature, and that could be on and in your hair, but they're not specifically looking for that THC. They're looking for you have ingested it and your body has actually metabolized it.